Welcome to Dragon Scale Hobbies. Thank you for joining us for something a little new. Predominantly we are painters and makers, and that's what this channel was going to be focused on. But I've been painting for, well, at least board games for the past 6 years, and I just realized I haven't played any of them. So I think it's about time that we actually try one out. So we will be playing Massive Darkness today. I know it's not brand new, but I'm still waiting for World of Smog, so that will be the new one. So we're going to play this today. It's a Kickstarter edition with all the extra bells and whistles, as well as the elephant box. And so we're going to play with everything, so in the tutorial we could have some really big scary monsters going on, and that's what we're going to do to start off, just the tutorial. Like I said, I have not played any of the games that I've painted over the years. I've painted probably well over 1,000 board game minis in the past 5 years, and I just sell them right away instead of actually trying to enjoy them. So we're going to play the tutorial mission, and we're going to choose our heroes for a campaign. We're going to go through all of the missions at some point. And so yeah, we're going to choose our heroes for the campaign. We have a lot to choose from because we have the Kickstarter edition and the elephant, so that's an extra 12 miniatures, I think. The 12 heroes that we can choose from. So we're going to get the tutorial board set up. We're going to choose our heroes and our classes and just be ready to start. So for the heroes, we're doing 6 heroes. We have chosen Little Ned. We've given him a battle axe, which is a nice two-handed weapon, and he is a bone crusher class. And then we have Siegfried. We gave him a mace, and he is a pit fighter berserker. And then we have Zoe. She has a longsword, and she is a shadow barbarian. And then we have Elias with a staff, and he is a battle wizard. And then we have Silence with a spear, and he's a Blood Moon Night Runner. And then finally we have Sylvan with a short bow, and he is a Nightshade Ranger. The tutorial board is very simple. It's simply 2 tiles. Your heroes start on one side, and their goal is to get all the way to the exit, but first they need to stop in the library to get a key for the exit. And there are 3 doors, 2 right there, 1 on the other side, and the library is behind door number 2, and it is level 1 and 2. So we're back. We had a technical difficulty, and now it's the next day. The technical difficulty was the tripod disintegrating, so I had to figure out another way to mount the camera, and it seems to be working out so far. So let's get on to our first turn. I have selected Sylvan as as the first player token, so he will go first. And yeah, so he will... Okay, so getting into the tutorial. So each hero is known as an actor, and each actor on their turn has 3 command points, I guess you would call them. Activation points is what they call them, right? So you can move, which gives you 2 movement points, so you can move 2 squares. you can move and open a door, move and pick something up in a move as well. Attacking is a full activation, and I think any kind of special ability is an activation, but we'll figure that out as we go. We are playing a campaign, so we are using micro experience. That's the only real difference between a campaign and a regular game, is you use the micro experience so that it extends the game a little bit throughout the other games, and you keep your weapons and armor that you've collected in the previous mission into the next one. Okay, so we will get on to Sylvan's first turn. So he's going to activate and he's going to move. So he's going to go 1, open a door. And when you open a door, you draw a door card. So drawing a door card, I have gotten a guard card. So how it works is the door usually represents 3 spaces that have been exposed. It goes closest adjacent to where the door would be closed, and then farther from that. So in the first space, we have 3 treasure chests. In the second space, we have a guard and 3 treasure chests. And then in the third space, we have 2 treasure chests. So let's get that set up, and we'll be back. So the guard we drew was a dwarf defender, and because we were playing with 6 heroes, you place 6 of the mob, I believe, and then the boss. You also draw a treasure card for the boss for him to use, and he drew a Javelin of Sure Strike, which gives 2 ranged attack, which dwarf defenders don't have, so it doesn't apply to them. Because you can only, for guards anyways, you can only use weapons which you previously have a stat with. So if they don't have a ranged attack and they draw a ranged weapon, it doesn't do anything. Okay, so now I'm going to activate Sylvan for a second time, and he is going to enter this room with a move, and he's going to open a chest. So let's see what he draws. Ooh, Tainted Chest, Acid Cloud. That's not good. It is a trap. All heroes in the same zone take 1 wound, draw a treasure card from the same level, discard after the resolution. So he takes 1 damage. Ouch. And he draws another card. He got a Skirmish Bow, which gives him 2 yellow for his ranged, and on a BAM, he gets +1 yellow hit. So I will swap that out for his short bow, which does not have the BAM ability. So, yeah. And now we are going to activate an attack on the guard, because I have a ranged weapon. So let's see, what are his special? He's not in shadow, I don't believe. I think he's in a light room because there's a torch in the same room. I think it's by tile, not by if there's a dark spot on the room. So he doesn't get his special shadow mode skill. His special skill is Hunter. He gets +3 swords against roaming monsters, so that doesn't help him in this at all. And he is a Nightshade Ranger. He doesn't have any experience to spend on his signature, which is called Find Weakness. Spend 1 experience point. Attack. You may reroll any number of defense dice 1 additional time. And I'm guessing that means for the enemy. So we're going to attack with his bow, which is 2 yellow. And the dwarf defenders have 2 blue. So I got 3 swords and a bam, which means I do 4 damage, and they got 2 shields, which means they block 2 of those, and each one of them has 1 wound, so I kill 2 of the dwarf defenders with Sylvan. And at this point they would counter, I believe, but they do not have a ranged attack, so they can't counter. And I think that is his turn. Yes, because I moved him once, opened a door, moved him again, picked up a chest, and then attacked, so that's 3. Okay, so I'm going to move, doesn't matter which way. I'm now going to activate Silence. Let's see. So he is going to move into the same zone as Sylvan. So that's 1 activation. Oh, sorry, I forgot to give Sylvan 2 experience points there. He now has 2 micro experience. And Silence is armed with a spear, which means he can attack he has a range of 1 for his attack. So he is going to attack the defenders, and with his spear he gets 1 yellow. And special skill, enemies in the same zone as Silence get defense -1, but there are no enemies in his zone, and he is not in shadow. So 1 yellow to their 2 blue. So they got 1 defense dice, and I got 1 sword, so nothing happens. I'm going to attack again for his final activation, and same result, so nothing happens. Okay, so now it is Elias's turn. He is going to, in the shadow, he gets +1 attack on Bam, and his special skill is Zap once per activation. Roll 1 yellow die and deal wounds equal to the number of swords to 1 enemy in line of sight at range of 0 to 2. So he's going to activate once, move to here, and he's going to use his Zap, because I don't think they can defend against a Zap, which is a good thing. So he didn't get anything, and now he is going to attack with his staff, which means he gets, and everything was defended. And now I find that the starting equipment isn't doing anything, so he's going to activate once more, and he's going to pick up the 2 chests that are in that zone. So first one he got was a Plague Javelin, which is 2 yellow and +1 wound on a BAM roll. And then he got another Javelin, which can be used to resolve melee actions at range 0, and it is a 1 red. So I'm going to give him that instead, because red, I'm pretty sure, are better than yellows. So we are activating Zoe. Her shadow ability, just let me get her on this side. Her shadow ability is may flip one of the defense dice. Cool. And special skill, Burly. Defense, if the attack deals no wounds, Zoe may heal 1 wound. Not bad. So she is going to move to here with 1 activation, and then she's going to move to here with another activation and open the door. Now, I'm not sure since the door is already there, but I think you're supposed to draw another door card. Let me just see. So that zone has already been exposed, so you do not draw a door card for that. So then we move in, and we're going to pick up the 2 treasure. So the first one is Scepter of Fear. It gives 2 yellow in the Magicka zone, and on a BAM it stuns the enemy. And the second is Plate Armor, which gives 1 blue defense and +1 defense just in general. So she's going to put on the Plate Armor, and she is going to put the magic weapon on instead of her long sword, which is only 1 yellow. This is 2 yellow, and it's ranged. So these have been picked up. And that was 1, 2, 3 moves, so that's her turn. And now we go to Siegfried. He is going to so 1, 2, 3. I think he can make a charge movement. So he's going to move to here, and then he's going to charge into the defenders. And his shadow mode skill is +1 attack. His special skill is Revenge. When Siegfried takes 1 or more wounds from an enemy attack, you may inflict 1 wound to the attacker. So that's pretty good too. And he is going to attack. He is carrying a mace, which gives him 1 yellow. And then the dwarf defenders have 2 blue. So nothing happens, and we're going to do, they are going to counter attack. So they have 1 yellow, and Siegfried has 1 blue. Ooh, what happened here? So he got 2 defense and a BAM, which doesn't add anything for him. And they got 2 attack and a BAM, which doesn't add anything to them either. So it's completely blank. And then he is going to attack once more for his last activation. I think, yes, you did a charge, and now you can do an attack. And they, as dwarf defenders, can reroll blank results 1 additional time. So they can reroll blank defense and they blocked. Okay, and then that is Siegfried's turn. And now we go on to Little Ned. He's going to do something extremely similar. He's going to move to here, and then he's going to charge in. And with his charge, he's using an axe, so he gets a red dice. And what are his abilities? So his Shadow Mode skill is +2 swords and -1 defense. And his special skill is huge. Melee actions have a range of 0 to 1. And Little Ned blocks enemies' line of sight. So I'm actually not going to charge. I'm just going to attack from where he is. So he gets a red, and they get 2 blue. Okay, so they re-roll any blank dice. So they got 2 defense, and he got 2 attack and a BAM, and he has nothing that adds to a BAM result, so nothing happens. And his last activation, you can attack 1 more time. They don't get to strike back because he's not in their zone. And nothing happens. Okay, so now it is enemy turn number 1, which means they will attack whoever's in their local zone. And if there is no one in their local zone, they will move towards the player with the highest amount of experience, which would be Sylvan, but Siegfried is in the zone, so they're just going to attack him. So they have 1 yellow, and he has 1 blue. And he got a blank, and they got 1 attack. So he takes 1 wound. But because of his special ability, when he takes a wound, they also take a wound. They only have 1 wound. Yes, so he kills a dwarf defender in revenge and gets 1 micro experience for that. Okay, so that is the enemy turn. Now we move on to experience phase. Spend experience points to get new skills. We don't have any full experience. We only have micro experience. And then we do an event phase, and that is draw an event card. So draw a card from the event deck. Shadow Inspiration. Choose 1 hero to immediately perform 1 action. So I will choose Little Ned to perform 1 action, and he is going to attack the defenders. They got 2 shields, and he got 1 sword, which is nothing. Okay, so discard our event. And now it moves on to player phase number 2, which means Silence has his turn first. So he is on the outside, and he has a spear. So he is going to take all 3 of his as attacks. So they defended that. They defended that. Oops. And they defended that. Okay. Yeah, the starting equipment really is not enough to do any major damage to people. Okay, so now it is Elias's turn. He has a javelin, which is a ranged attack, and he gets 1 red. So first I'm going to resolve his zap as my first activation. So he gets 1, kills 1, and he gets 1 micro experience for that. And then he is going to attack with his javelin, which is a red. Oh, very nice. Rats! But he got 3 swords and a diamond. He doesn't have any diamond abilities, unfortunately. So 1 still gets through. He kills a dwarf. And goes up 1 micro experience. And I think he has 1 more. Correct me if I'm wrong. I usually am. And they defended that. Now it is Zoe's turn. She has a 2 yellow. She is just going to attack. And they got a blank, so they re-roll that. And she got 2 swords and a bam. They got 1 defense, so she kills 2, which includes the boss. Hooray! They're defeated. So, now, I think she gets the treasure. I think. I'm not positive. But that's how I'm going to do it. The person who defeats it gets the treasure, which is a Javelin of Sure Strike, which is 2 yellow, which doesn't really add anything. Does it have a special ability? May reroll blank results 1 additional time, and her staff is a BAM stuns enemies. I would prefer the Javelin. And that was her first activation. She's going to pick up the key she needs, so I guess we just flip that. So we may now move to the exit. And she has 1 more activation. She's going to move to here.